Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Xbox Life episode 476, Major Strife. I am one of your hosts, Mark, aka Wingman709, with little BJ
Tongue
blooper there.
tied.
I am one of your hosts, Mark, aka Wingman709, and with me, as always, is my trusty, my bestest, my pal, Rob.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the show where we now enunciate properly.
That
Is that right?
is correct.
Correct.
Correcto
And we roll our
mundo.
R's.
So you can watch us every week on Twitch, Mixer, YouTube on Sundays at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So for our longtime listeners and viewers, who we may lose a lot tonight because we have pushed back by 1 hour, folks, and we are going to continue this going forward for the foreseeable future. It just works better for Rob and myself to start 1 hour later. We apologize to those in an East Coast that are probably going to bed. We really do apologize. But we'll still give you the audio show that you can download and listen to at your leisure. And of course, you can always watch the replays of the videos on any of those wonderful sites, Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. So, as those will be readily available right now and instantly after we're done. So, with all that said, look for us each week at 1 hour later time than you're used to. So let's jump into what we've been playing. Rob, I'm gonna start with you.
Sure. So played a little bit of Fortnite Battle Royale. Not too much of that. Did a little bit of Forza Horizon 3. And I was really looking forward to Forza Horizon 4. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm just getting tired of it. Tired of that whole Forza Horizon recipe for gaming, I guess. So I know we talked about this a little while ago, like a couple episodes ago, about, what they could or should do with Forza Horizon to make it more interesting, because it's been very samey now for a little while. And I'm kind of starting to see what you were saying, Mark, just where they really need to do something. They need to mix it up. Otherwise, it's very samey. Other than that, I did play a little bit of, actually, I played the first episode of the Batman Telltale series. I forgot what its name was, But anyway, it's the Batman Telltale episode 1. We got it free a while back. So I'm like, like today, I wasn't feeling good. I was exhausted. I took like a nap this afternoon, probably because of yesterday I went and I had belt testing with my son for Taekwondo. So we both graduated belts, and man, that just kicks my butt. It just kicks my butt.
So what belt are you guys?
So we are both blue. My son is dark blue and I'm light blue. So the dark blue is one ahead.
So your what? 10-year-old son can kick your butt.
He is my senior. And he probably could kick my butt because I get tired almost instantly. And then he can just kick me while I'm down.
There you go.
Which apparently happens frequently. Actually, it's pretty funny. So there's only one other adult in the class. The rest is all pretty much preteens. There's like 1 or 2 teenagers. The rest are all younger.
Yeah.
So we're sitting on the floor, and then the master tells, "Okay, everybody, stand up." Everybody's up.
Except
I'm
you.
like, I'm like just like rolling onto like one knee, and then like I stand up, and he tells everybody like later, "Okay, everybody, sit down."
And they're like, "Boom!"
But
and you're just like,
yeah,
hold
exactly.
On.
They're down. I'm like, oh, I hear my knee going crack, crack, crack. It sucks to be old, but yeah. So anyway, going back to the gaming, I was like really tired, and I was like on the verge of taking my second nap for the day, or having to take my second nap for the day. And then I'm like, let me just play something effortless, almost effortless. So I'm like, well, because I saw it had updated last week or something, or within the last 7 days in my list. And it was okay. I mean, it was nice that it wasn't a Walking Dead game, I guess, because those felt very burned out, or at least I was very burned out on those. But it was nice. I like the Batman uh, universe storyline, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite superheroes, and so now I'm kind of on the fence. I've got the first one done, first episode done, and I think there was like what, 6 or 7, 8 episodes total. And I'm on the fence about buying the rest. But hopefully we'll get them free, or it'll go on sale or something like for $5, and I'll pick it up. But yeah, I think that was about it. That was about it for me. How about you, Mark? What have you been playing?
All right. So I have done some. As you guys know, I was playing some Dead Island with Comrade. Both Comrade and I completed this game 100%. We got the full 1K achievements on it. It was awesome. This was really cool because, and this is funny. You guys are noticing a trend, maybe. Comrade and I used to game all the time, and Comrade's a very much. She's all about completion. Like, she's not. I mean, she's got a huge gamer score. It's like 350,000, I think. She's got like 100,000 more than me, but she will complete games. Like, her goal is more of 100%ing, and I'm more of like, yeah, there's stuff I'm just not going to get, and I'm okay with that, And nowadays it's like I don't really strive to complete a game. I just play them. I got out of that achievement thing, and I really don't follow it. But now this is like within the last month, 5 weeks. She's gotten me to complete 3 games. So this is the third one. So we are already lined up. We're going to play Dead Island Riptide. So I've already got it installed, and we're going to go for that. And we're also going to be co-oping Far Cry 5 this week. Knowing her, she's going to keep pushing me to get the full 100%. So that's what I'll be doing the next couple of probably next month or so. Will be Dead Island Riptide and Far Cry 5. Yeah, Dead Island is super fun. Gems of War, of course, played a little bit of that. Not near as much as I used to, but I'm still a little bit here and there. I still do enjoy it. I played
it's not getting old at all, or
yeah, yes and no. It's not as. I'm approaching level 200. So I've definitely kind of slowed down, and it's kind of lost its magic, but it's still enjoyable to play sometime. Also, Battlefront 2 had their update this week, where they redid their progression system. So I turned it on just to, kind of see what it was, and I noticed all the characters were automatically unlocked. Now, I don't know if it's because I've done something to unlock them in their new progression, or they've decided just to unlock everything. But so I got to play as Luke, Chewie, and Leia, which were the 3 characters I had not played yet in multiplayer. So I went and tried them out and had fun with it. And then the other game let's see. I installed, attempted to play, or played, sort of, then attempted to play, then attempted to connect, got connected,
okay.
Couldn't get other people to connect.
I sense a connection with what you're saying.
I played Sea of Thieves, or attempted to play, and I have successfully played over this weekend, but the game...
the seas choppy?
The seas, oh my gosh, dude. The water tech in that game is stunning. I even mentioned it today. Yeah. I was playing with some people, and I was standing on the front of the ship, and I'm just like, dude, I can't. Every time I play this game, I'm stunned by the water. the way it moves, the way it looks, it's just and the waves and the boats going up and down. And, someone said, can you imagine this game in VR? And I'd like, dude, I would seriously get seasick. There's been times where it's kind of like, oof, I got to kind of look away a little bit, because sometimes it can still have that effect. But um, the game has had a lot of problems, which I will dive into later because that's going
Okay.
to be in a little special section I have reserved just for that portion of the game. But what I want to focus on mainly is my experience with Sea of Thieves over the last 2 days, over Saturday and Sunday. I did play quite a bit yesterday, played a few hours today. And first of all, I want to say shout outs to Bumblewoot, Dirt McGirt 777, Wicked Lizard 69, Dead Kamikaze, and Dirty Bite. I played with these guys a lot over this weekend. Some of these guys are brand new. So like Wicked Lizard 69. So I think it was Bumblewoot. I want to say Bumblewoot, Dirty Bite, and myself. Yes, we couldn't find a fourth on Saturday. So we just went in and we got, if you have 3 people, it'll automatically put you in with a random. And it was Wicked Lizard 69 is who we got paired with. So I'm like, okay, well, I am like, let me invite him to the party. And he didn't come in. And we finished a mission. He was like, and it was weird because we spawned in and we were like on his boat. And I'm like, whoa, we're on a boat. We've always spawned in at the island, right?
I'm
And
on a boat.
yeah, this time it was like, yeah, I'm like, what the heck? And we're all going, why did this game put us on a boat? And I'm like, oh, this must be Wicked Lizard's boat. We just jumped in on his boat. So, we're trying to be like respectful and like, okay, what's he doing? Let's help out. We're not like, let's take it over and put him in the brig. We're not like that. And I was trying to get him in the thing, and it was like, we did the mission he was on, and then we threw another one, proposed another mission, and the 3 of us, of course, accepted it, which kicked it off, and he was kind of steering us in the wrong direction. And then eventually he got into our party. He walked away from the ship, steering the ship, and I went over and I turned it around and headed the way we were going. And finally he got on and we were talking to him, and this guy was like really cool. He hung with us all night. He was so happy to be in with a group of, it just took him some time to get his headset. He was so happy to be in with a group of people that were actually playing correctly. We were knocking stuff out. It was just, he was just like, all of us added each other to the friends list. And he was just like, this is great, guys. It was nice to find a group of people that work together and play the game correctly. Because there's people out there just don't want to play it the right way, and it can be frustrating. So it was really cool. And same with Dirt McGirt today. We ended up in with him as a random. We got him in the party, and same thing. He was just like, "This was great. I had a good time." And so you might see these 2 guys in the Facebook community. Be sure to say hi to them if you guys see them out there, because I did tell them. And this was afterwards, after we've all played. I told them about our Facebook group and our podcast, and just said, hey, if you're looking for good people to play with, our group really has some fantastic people. So, but the game is gorgeous. I will say this weekend, I actually started to have fun with the game. And I know it's got there's a lot of negative. It had a lot of negativity in this game has come out this week. I've seen some stories where people just ripped it, like this game's not ready and all this.
It's got a 67, I think, on Metacritic.
I think it deserves a lot. Well, Metacritic's tough, and a lot of people have dinged it because of it really hasn't been playable until this weekend.
Because it's not available on Android?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or Super NES?
But, dude, they had serious problems on launch, okay? They had EA Battlefield style issues, and they were using the same excuse from the EA playbook. So,
but the thing is, it's been in beta for like 6 months or something like that, right?
Well,
you'd think that they would sort it out. There were so many, everybody was in on the beta almost.
I'm I'm saving that part.
Okay. Okay.
I can't go off on it now. but
I gotcha.
but yes, Rob, save that angst for later in the show because we will come back to Sea of Thieves.
Is this a
So
spoiler for
we're
what's
we're
coming?
focusing on the good of Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
Um, there, I think for me when I played the beta of it, and I've played with people, I before the game released. Again, I didn't buy it. I'm a Game Pass subscriber, so I did get it free. Or I got it. I'm sorry, I did not get it free. I got it as part of my Game Pass subscription. I know we went over that last week,
Well
so
said.
I'm trying to retrain my brain. Um, but anyways, so I have not really enjoyed it, and I'm like, I don't see why everybody's having so much fun with this game. It's slow, it's boring. It's like you go over here and you gotta find some gold and you put it on your ship and you take it back and you get some money and it's then you gotta it's the same thing over and over. It's like one big fetch quest, really. I mean, if you really kind of look at this game, that's really all it is. But for some reason, I had a tremendous amount of fun this weekend with this game. And I really believe it. Like, you cannot go into this game by yourself. Just don't even do it. Okay. You can. You can go into solo, but you are by yourself out there in the open ocean with other people around you that can kill you, take your loot, and you know. But if you got no friends, you can't do it. But it's not as fun. And I did try originally when I first started. The game when it came out, I was playing solo because I just wanted to get used to what is it I'm supposed to do. I wanted to learn the game before I go jump in with other people, and I don't want to be the guy that doesn't know what's going on. But even if you're brand new, jump in with people because if you get in with a good group, they're going to teach you really quick. Um, it is a pretty simple game. And it is fun. It can be really a lot of fun when with your group of people. We had got into a we were at an island today, getting ready to go. We were gonna go do a quest on this island, and all of a sudden, I don't know where they came from, that there was a galleon ship behind us, and we're all on the island going, "Oh no!" We had chests and stuff on our boat, so we're all racing back to our boat. And I think we had one person on there, but they sent one guy over, and I still don't know how it happened. They got on our boat, went down in the hold, grabbed a chest, got off the boat, and got back to their boat. It was just like, how did this happen? So they started, they were shooting cannons at us. We were working to get the sails going, get the boat turned around, shooting back at them. We were patching up. And eventually, they were so focused on us as they were going forward that they ran into some rocks, and they ended up sinking.
Whoops.
And we ended up killing them
Aw.
all as they were trying to come over to take our ship. We killed them all. And then, now that ship had a very specific design on it, which is something I haven't seen yet. So these must have been some higher level or players that have played enough to get some of the cosmetic stuff because they had a very specific striping down their side. And later on in the game, all of a sudden we saw another one. And two of our crew had taken off, one to check his laundry and one to go take a smoke. So it was just me and another guy, on this ship, kind of waiting around for them. And all of a sudden I was like, uh-oh, we got a galleon coming up behind us. And as we pulled out the spyglass, it was the same ship. I'm like, how'd these guys find us, And so it's just me and this other guy, and we're raising the sails and we're angling them and we're like, we got to get moving. We got to get moving. And they were behind us, and we went for quite a while, and it was just the two of us. I'm like, we are outgunned, outmanned. Two of our crew are gone right now. There's, their characters are on the ship, but people on the controllers are gone. And so I've got my sniper rifle out. I'm looking at them, and they're looking at us, and they take a shot at us, and we take a shot back, and we just kind of kept doing this for a while, and I'm like, oh, we got to stay ahead of them, keep our sails. We got to keep all the wind, and then finally our other guys showed up, and we just kind of kept at it. They couldn't catch us. They eventually gave up. But then we went to an island and we were watching them, and it's like, okay, They're going to come back. They're waiting for us to go on an island, or maybe they're going to wait, but they eventually just disappeared. But it was pretty wild, and it was pretty fun. And all the missions we did and stuff that we're doing, trying to find different things and stuff is pretty fun. So, and the thing is, too, a lot of people are saying there's not enough content. Some people have compared it to Destiny. I would say you could compare it to Destiny in the fact of it doesn't have a story. There's really no story, but it was never designed to have one. And one of the things that the developers have said is, we're making our own stories with this game. And, that might sound like a cop out, but the story I just shared is one of those things. Like, this was
Yeah.
something really fun, really cool that just simply, I can't think of another game where it would have happened. And there's all kinds of examples like that where people have done things, or they've gone into a sunken, you see a sunken ship and you go down and you find these, like, we found a couple captain's chests which have a lot of loot, and you get these things and then you're like, oh man, we got to get this back and turned in before someone comes after us and steals our good loot. And sometimes you're like, do we turn this stuff in? We've got like 5 chests, we got 4 skulls, this is a lot of money. But there's another one at the next island over. We could grab that one and then go turn everything in. But then it's like, okay, but are we risking getting boarded or stuff stolen or our ship sunk, or what if the Kraken appears and we lose everything? It's those types of things that, I think the more a person plays, the more they're getting it. And that's, I think, with me, because at first I was like, man, this is boring, and there's still times where it's a little quiet as you're heading, maybe you got to go from one end of the map to the other. But that's when you pull out your little musical instruments and
Jeez.
you start the band playing. And so, but I've had a lot of fun with this game this weekend. Um, and I still encourage people to check it out. Now, it seems like at this moment, I've had no login issues at all this weekend. I know there was major problems when the game launched, which I'll talk about later. But at this point, I'd say everybody can probably feel safe to jump in and check it out, especially if you have Game Pass and you haven't checked it out. There's no extra cost to you to install it and play it. So, but I like it. And
Okay.
I'm surprised. So, so those are the good parts, I think.
But wait, there's more,
Oh,
which we'll talk about later.
yeah, we'll come back to
We'll
Sea of
circle
Thieves.
back. Yeah.
So, because here on TXL, we're gonna speak our minds, the good and the bad. We don't drink anybody's Kool-Aid. so, so we'll talk about the negative of it. So stick around. But that's all I played this week.
Okay. It's a good list.
All right. You can support us at Patreon. Go to thisxboxlife.com/Patreon if you'd like to support the show each and every month. Hey, thank you, BJ Swick33 for subscribing.
Woohoo.
So, and Braun, I'm gonna need to talk to you this week. I got an issue here with our tip thing. As you can see, it's not showing up. So maybe we can, if you got some time this week, give me a ring-a-ling there, Braun. I'm sure it's something super simple. You could go, duh, it's right there, Mark. Let's see. Also, so that's anyways, Patreon. If you'd like to support us each and every month, that's how you can set that up. You can donate however much you want, and Patreon will take whichever credit payment you wish and do that for you each and every month. If you'd like to do a one-time tip, you can do that by going to thisxboxlife.com/donate. And I want to thank Drano85. He donated $10 to us last week during the show. The alert didn't trigger. It's not showing in the bar, and I'm going to get that in there as soon as I can. But big time thank you to Drano85. We really appreciate that, and thank you so much. And I will get your name in there. So, and I know you don't do it for the recognition, but we appreciate it anyways. And then lastly, you can subscribe to our channels on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube. So don't forget to follow, subscribe, and if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can use a free sub for you, free to you. You can use that every month on our Twitch page. We really appreciate that. So don't forget to do that. All right, so let's get into some topics. So, Rob, I wanted to see if you would like to go first this week. I always seem to jump right in. Thought maybe
Oh,
you'd like
sure.
to share your
Okay.
stories and news first.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. So, a couple of things here that I wanted to mention. First off, the game Hellblade, and what is
Ooh.
there's more to the name. What was it? Senua or something like that. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. It's a game that came out on the PC last year, and from what I understand, had really good reviews. It was a favorite of a lot of people. This is going to be coming to Xbox One and Xbox One X on April 11th. So about 2 weeks to go. And it's kind of an interesting game. I watched a video on this a couple weeks back where it's set in, could we put it like Nordic? No, Norse, not mythology, but um, it was set a long time ago. Let's put it that way.
couple
Towards
couple 2-3
the,
days ago.
yeah, like the Celtic Norse area of the world. And I know that those aren't really close, but they're closer than America or Australia. But yeah, so this is going to be coming out. It's a game by Ninja Theory. So look for that coming soon. So we might have a good game on the horizon coming soon. Next up, the um, the Fortnite CEO. So I guess this is the Epic Games CEO was quoted saying that PS4 and Xbox crossplay is inevitable. We'll see how that goes because Mark, now my understanding is that Microsoft has always been a proponent of crossplay, haven't they?
Yes, very much
Going
so.
across the systems, and there's a couple of systems out there, and we know who they are. There's sort of more than one, but they're kind of fighting it. They're keeping their closed ecosystem of sorts. And there was an interesting quote here where he goes, "Oh, and this is Tim Sweeney." He
Yes.
said, "I think it's inevitable now. Games have become social experiences in the same way that Facebook or Twitter have. And these experiences only really make sense if gamers can communicate with all of their friends." And he further went on to say, and this was kind of interesting, is that, basically by not allowing crossplay, that there's the risk of breaking up real world social groups, and this could be bad for business. And that's kind of an interesting take because, let's say you have a group of people that play on Xbox and, a group of people that play on PlayStation, and they play together, not with each other, but in their own little groups. That can divide them in the real world on the playground or wherever. And, I never really thought about it that way. That's maybe kind of stretching things a little bit. But, I could see that where, like the Microsoft folks, they're playing on their Xboxes, they're sharing these stories, kind of like what you said about Sea of Thieves. They're sharing these stories with each other, these experiences that they had, where, they're going for, the last squad standing, for example, and, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? And then the other group, they're kind of like outsiders because they're not able to share on that because of their choice of hardware for whatever reason. But that was kind of interesting. Um, then moving on outside of that, uh, Fortnite, a little more on Fortnite over here. Looks like Fortnite 4K is coming soon. Right now, Battle Royale on the Xbox platform is only, and I'll say only with air quotes, 1800p because, you know, there was that whole big debate of, 1080p. So and this is on the Xbox One X, because the other one can't go, the S can't go that high. But Fortnite Battle Royale is only 1800p and 60 frames per second. So it looks like they're working on bumping that up to the 4K number, which is 2160p. So we'll be getting what, a 360p boost coming soon. And
Something.
Mark, isn't this kind of ridiculous now? Because we, like, a couple of years back, we're 1080p was the big number. That was the bar.
Right.
And you had games that were like in the 900s and the 700s, and it was kind of a big deal. Now, here we are again. We're trying to reach that 2160p number, and not every game is there yet. And in the end, does it really matter?
Uh-oh.
No, I don't think so. No, because look at it. I mean, it's 1800p right now. Really, that's like so many more p's than could have been a couple years ago. And I guess you're not taking full advantage of your Xbox One X and its display if it's sub 4K.
Eh.
But anyway, I'll just move on from that. And then here's a little tidbit, which I know that you will be interested in. And that's Phil Spencer gave a little tease about Crackdown 3. Did you hear about this? Just a couple days ago.
Wow. No, I actually did not hear this.
Okay. Well, it's news to everybody, including you then. So Phil Spencer said on Twitter that they have a plan and team is locked in on their date. So this is about the release date. They're going to be talking about it more, but the wait won't be too long. So what does that mean to you? Does that mean E3?
I think so.
Because E3 is what?
2 months?
2 months away? Yeah.
Yeah, we're roughly about maybe 10 weeks. I think it's the middle of June, so we're what, approaching? We're going to be in April next week. So 8, 10, about 11 weeks away, I suppose. So, it wouldn't surprise me if they come out, that maybe they'll come out at E3 and say, you can download it today, But I would think they would still want the pre-orders. I cannot see this game coming out any later. I think this game has to come out. If it's coming out this year, they have to have it out before September.
You think so?
I do. The original Crackdown was great. And I think a lot of people got it because they tied in that Halo beta to that, but it's still, the game, had over 1 million copies sold, and it was a really good game. The second one, a lot of people hated. I didn't like it, but there were some new features they had put into that second game that when you went back to the first game, you're like, oh, I miss my jump boots and my wingsuit. It's like they added things that, like, wow, that really altered the gameplay, and now I miss them when I go back to what I thought was the better game. It had a better story. There was really nothing, and the story sucked in the second one, but I think this third one's going to be just phenomenal, and I think they can do a great job with this, but they got to get this game out before it can't get lost in that holiday shuffle. It's not a big enough title. You got Red Dead 2 coming out this holiday,
Yep.
Call of Duty, the next Battlefield. I'm sure we're going to hear a whole bunch of other stuff that's coming out by the holiday season. I was in the game store on the Xbox yesterday, and it's like, okay, well, there's like 3 lines, and that's it. Like, the store is empty. There's like, when you go to new releases, there's like 3 lines of games, and that's it. And there's like what? And half of those are going to disappear this week. on Tuesday. So
Yeah, yeah.
come Tuesday, you're gonna have like maybe 1.5 lines of games that are coming out. So they're gonna have to, you know, they should start filling that in, and that happens around E3 because they don't post. They want to save a lot of stuff that's coming, but usually E3 that thing gets pretty full. Um, but that game's got to come out this summer, and I think releasing it in the summer would be great. It would have that opportunity for people to play it, for people to get to see it. So I'm excited for it. I would see, we got Sea of Thieves and Game Pass in March. We're getting State of Decay 2 in May. Maybe we'll get Crackdown 3 in July. You know,
Hmm.
because then maybe we'll see Forza in September, which I think is when they normally release Forza. They
Yeah,
do it in the
something like
September,
that.
October. So now they're sticking a big AAA title, if you will, in every other month in Game Pass, and that makes Game Pass look even more attractive. So
Yeah. Hey, quick question on Crackdown. So I was thinking about this earlier today. Was that the one that, so is three going to be the one that was going to leverage the 300,000 computers in
Power of the Cloud, baby.
the cloud?
Yeah.
That was the one? Okay. We'll see how that goes. Because, you know, we had Drivatars with Forza, and then we had this thing with Crackdown 3. You really didn't. I don't think any other games have really taken advantage of that. I mean, has that feature kind of flopped, or did it just get pushed back? I mean, what happened with the power of Xbox Live enhancing your gaming?
I don't I don't know. I don't know if they ran into issues with that. But I know they're going whole hog in the cloud. I mean, we talked about a story not long ago that Microsoft bought this cloud gaming
Yeah,
cloud company, but it was focused on gaming in the cloud. So, um, I think Microsoft, they came out and said this is going to be our best E3. Well, it's definitely going to be their biggest because they're going to be able to have more people in the theater because they're going to be in their own theater across the street, which it's bigger than where they've done their stage shows
right.
before. Um, and so it's going to be bigger that way. But I really believe that this could be the turning point. This could be that opportunity because we got the best hardware, we've got the best online service. We don't have the exclusives, but now we have the best game service, right? With Xbox Game Pass. Not
Sure.
only just it's not old stuff, but it's brand new games are going in. I'm playing Sea of
Yeah.
Thieves. I didn't pay $60 for it. It's just like, yeah, there you go. That's awesome. And the game is fun. It's like, wow, this is the probably the best game in the Game Pass. There's a lot of other good games in there, but we're gonna get new stuff now, day and date on that. That's awesome. And I really believe we're gonna get exclusives. I think that's what E3 this year's really gonna bring with Microsoft. They're gonna go after that. They have to, even though Phil doesn't like to segment the community. I believe it's gonna happen, and I think we're gonna see a lot more crossplay with Nintendo. Wherever they can. They
Sure.
did it with Minecraft. I think they did it with Rocket League. I think you're gonna see stuff like that just to kind of keep going. But yeah, well, I think this could be good. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I just don't see a downfall here. So
Okay.
the cloud, baby, it's coming. We're gonna see it.
It's either a silver lining or there's lightning bolts coming out. One of the two.
uh, all right. What else? What else you guys? Is that it?
Yeah, I do have one more thing, but we'll talk about that later.
All right. A couple things. I got really brief things. This one, I don't even know if this was worth mentioning, but Facebook, it's new to the Xbox. So Facebook's video platform, I guess, has launched on the Xbox. So you can download the Facebook video app on your Xbox One and watch. It's not Facebook. It's their video. So it's like
Right.
watching. It's like watching Blah. Man, I just can't speak today. Watching videos specifically designed, like videos and shows for Facebook. I don't know if the gaming stuff is going to be part of it yet. I don't believe it is currently, but it's like there's like almost like TV shows. So I think you're going to see it more of like a. I think they're going after the whole Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime streaming market, and they're in Facebook's a big enough name. They're going to probably have their own uh, special. What is it? Their own content. But that's
So
you can watch
so
that
it's
on
going to be
Xbox.
more of that and not some guy riding his BMX bike down the roof trying to land in a swimming pool and he falls short onto the picnic table.
According to this, it's designed for watching videos and shows on Facebook.
Mm.
It doesn't rely much on your account or your watching excuse me, or your watching habit. It instead features some of the more professional quality shows that are on Facebook's video platform. There's still a feature that recommends you different shows and videos from around the social network. However, the app can also be used to watch live streams on Facebook Live and let you subscribe to certain shows or pages if you are interested in the content. So that's what it looks to be. I haven't installed it or checked it out yet.
Well, Twitch is like really behind or something.
Oh, really?
I just saw myself take a drink that I on my cup here that I took like 2 minutes ago or something.
It happens. It
Yeah.
happens.
Holy moly. Okay.
So, but yeah, that's what that's all about. So if you're interested, check it out. It's available.
Okay.
Also, if anyone's interested in purchasing hardware, you can now actually buy Xbox Ones and stuff through the Windows 10 store. So that's now an option. I guess it wasn't in the store before. So, but you can go into the store like where you'd buy your games and say, "Hey, I'll buy a new Xbox," and I guess they'd have to ship it to you since it's not digital content. um,
So, so they had little stuff in there before, like controllers and stuff. And I don't know if that was an insider thing, but I just don't understand who would use this. I mean, like, why would you buy it through your console and not like go to a store or Amazon? It makes no sense to me.
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm saying? Especially like, it's like, would you pay MSRP for something, or maybe get some kind of goofy deal with like a gift card or something like at Best Buy?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just they've got their own store, physical store.
Yeah,
I guess it's just another way of why not? If you're going to sell this other stuff, why not? Someone might buy it through there.
yeah, it's true.
Hey, maybe someone wants to gift Rob, their favorite host, an Xbox One X, and they can do it right from the comfort of their couch, and just gift it to them. So,
Nice.
but
I like that. I still don't understand why they would do it through the store as opposed to Amazon. But hey, that's just, I know some people will do it. I guess it depends on how available or accessible that stuff is to you.
yeah,
Because remember the Columbia House music
yeah, yeah.
thing?
Is this a
You know,
CD of the month club
yeah, it was like, get 10 CDs
or a
for,
penny?
yeah, for a penny. And I guess I'm assuming people know what a CD is because it's been so long. Yeah, CD is like something that has like 10 MP3s on it. It's like a disc. It's round. No, but
And shiny.
yeah, because like, well, I guess living in Chicago, we had lots of options to purchase CDs where you could go, you could go to the Circuit City, to Best Buy. They had what, Peaches, Tower Records,
Oh yeah.
Musicland, Sound Warehouse, just like store after store, which sold them fairly cheap. But I guess if you were not near the big city, like if you were in, I don't know, a farming community or in the mountains or something like that, you didn't have that option. So I always thought that, stuff like that was really geared towards people that didn't have, stores with selection readily available. So for them, it worked out great. And, I guess if people aren't near any stores, let's say like the nearest store is 50 or 100 miles away that has this stuff in stock, then, maybe this will be good for you.
It's just another option.
Yeah, absolutely.
It shouldn't bother you, Rob. If you don't like it, don't use it.
No,
Go to the store.
no, that doesn't bother me. I just don't understand why.
Well,
Like, makes no sense to me.
someone will probably purchase it through there.
Yes, yes.
All right. So this next one, I don't get this at this point. This seems a little strange to me, but EA is hiring people for a Star Wars open world project. So Visceral's reshaped project, I guess, that they were working on when they got shut down. I guess this is going to be going over to EA Vancouver, but they want to deliver an online open world game for this in the Star Wars universe. And my thoughts on this, I was like, they've had they got a 10-year licensing deal, I think, for Star Wars. What, 5-6 years ago? And it's like, now you're starting on this. Like, this should have been something, in my opinion, you started day one. Like, let's get this open world style Star Wars game and go with it. Like, why are they waiting? Why did they wait 6 years or into this before, like, oh, we should do this? I just don't understand that. And they've scrapped some other stuff, like the Amy Henning game, which was at Visceral, or she was at Visceral. That was a single player style game, and they just shut it down. It's just like, why do they think people don't want? I know that they don't want it because they feel the single player game, they can't keep sucking money out of us. But I guess I already know that answer. But why is it taking them so long, Rob, to pull their head out of their butt and say, hey, an open world online Star Wars game might be a good idea?
No idea.
I mean, Skyrim online, right? I mean, people played Skyrim like a bajillion times, and even that's got an online game. Like, this, to me, Star Wars would be ripe,
Yeah, yeah.
for the pickings. So maybe someday we'll see it. So, but it's EA, so they'll probably can it before too long.
Yeah.
Last thing that I've got, and I actually noticed this. If you've got if you're in the beta and the Delta programs, you got a new system update. Actually, as of today, it said on the 25th of March, there was a new update, and this does provide the 1440p if you've got a 1440p monitor. So they've done some fixes and stuff and different things. But one of the things I noticed, and I was going to check because I've never seen this before, they brought back the ability to record a voice message. So I went to send a text or a regular message to some people on my friends list today, and I was like, it was different when it popped up, and I was like, what is this? And I moved my stick over once to the right. So you got to select a text or voice message now. And I don't know if those people got it. I don't know if you have to be on this new version to receive the voicemail. Hopefully not. But I did send voicemails today, and I was like, oh, something we had back on the 360 is finally, and it was weird because it actually came on the Xbox One before, and then they took it away. And now it seems to be back. And I really like just sending quick voice messages instead of having to, cursor
Typing
over and up, and then
sucks.
hit a button, and cursor down and over, down. Oops, I went too far. Over, one, up, click. It just takes too long.
Yeah.
I like to hit the thing and say, hey, what's up? Let's play a game. Boom, send, So that is in the new version. I'm in the beta group. So if you are on the beta release, or I guess the Delta, you should see that. But they've got a lot of fixes in here mainly. But again, that was the one thing I noticed, was the ability to send voicemails. So I was happy to see that. But, other than that, Rob, have you seen anything on yours that has stood out that, hey, that's a neat feature? Because you're in the alpha ring.
Yeah. I got the update, I think today, maybe yesterday, whenever it was, within the last 2 days, it updated, and I did my insider quest. I don't even remember what it was for, but yeah, this one it didn't seem like it changed a whole lot. I mean, it was fairly similar to the ones prior.
And just so you guys know, we're not ignoring you, Nightwish. um, Kamikaze's correct. We are streaming on 3 different platforms, and so it's hard to follow the chat, keep the show going, and but we try. So, but I do want to answer his questions because this does kind of go in line back what you were saying a little bit ago. He was asking, where was it? How long do we think it'll be before it's an all digital industry? Um, and that's kind of where I think Microsoft has always been ahead of the game. This is what Xbox One originally, their vision for this, that everybody's like poo-pooed on. So they had to backtrack, and now we're starting to finally get some things in from that original vision. But I think it's inevitable. I think, you know, the music industry, the books, music, movies, all that stuff's gone basically digital. You know, there are still like a Barnes and Nobles around, but they're not everywhere anymore. And I think they're about the only book chain left. The where's a music store anymore? I mean, going to a Best Buy these days, and it's like it used to be half
Yeah,
the store was music and movies, and now it's TVs and computers and camera, and then most of it's actually cell phones now. You walk in, it's like you got to go past aisles and aisles of cell phone crap.
accessories.
Yeah, they're selling refrigerators now and stuff, and it's just all that stuff that used to be physical media is moving. And one thing that I really want to see, and I think it's inevitable, like this whole crossplay that Rob was talking about earlier between Microsoft and Sony. I think Sony better pull their head out of their butt and get in line because everyone else is doing it and they're the only ones not doing it. They didn't want to move the industry forward back when they're like, oh, you want to share a game on PlayStation? Here, hand the disc to your friend. Well,
Yeah,
Rob, it's a little hard for me to do that for you when you live a couple thousand miles away, right? You know,
yeah,
I can't just hand you the disc, but we can game share digitally, and you can play all the games I have, and I don't have to hand you anything. It's like
sure.
they're so anti gamer. They keep saying, "Oh, we're about the gamer," but they're not. And it's weird that they'll cross play with PC, but they'll cross play with Sony or Nintendo, but they will not cross play with Xbox. It's like, why? You're already cross playing with Windows. That's a Microsoft. Do they not realize that Microsoft owns Windows? it's like we'll play with half of you, but not the other half. It's like it doesn't make any sense. They're so wrapped up in this like console war mentality that it's like it's going away, people. And I really feel that this could be detrimental to Sony if they don't get on board with it. And what I actually envision the future, um, I don't know if it's going to happen because it hasn't happened in the other digital mediums yet, but right now we really don't own our games. We pay for a license to play them as long as those games are made available for us, right? Because in the digital world, they turn it off, it's gone, right? But that's where everything is going, and I think it would be great. And I think this is what Microsoft's vision is. You purchase the game, and they're doing it on their own. So when I buy the game, I can play it on PC. I can play it on Xbox. I don't have to buy a second copy to play on the PC. I bought the license. I own the game. Now, how great would that be to buy the next Call of Duty? You buy one copy of Call of Duty, and you could play it on a PlayStation or on an Xbox or on Windows or on
Yeah.
Nintendo. You already bought the game. Why should you have to pay for the same game multiple times? And I can see us going down that path, you know. But again, it would be nice to see the same for music and movies. And it's like movies are going there. We got the movies anywhere now. So I bought my movies. If you bought movies on Xbox, you bought them on Vudu. You've bought them through Universal's movie store, Fox movie store. They're all coming together and taking all your purchases and allowing you to, wherever you bought it, you bought the one copy, but you can watch it on different platforms. It doesn't matter, you know. So the movie
Right.
industry is going that way. Um, I think it's inevitable the music industry will go that way. The problem is all these companies, they want their piece of the pie, and they can't see that they're going to make any money on it. They view it as, no, I got all these people buying Sony's, PlayStations. I get all that revenue for every game they purchase, you know? But there's other ways to make money in the digital world, and they
Right.
could, if they would pull their head out of their butt and realize that, they could probably make even more money. And also, even though you're the biggest group, you have the most console sales, doesn't mean you have the largest online presence. And if you have 10,000 people playing a game on your platform that is a multi-platform game, and now you say, oh, Nintendo can come in and play with us, PC can come and play with us, Xbox can come play with us, all those platforms now have a larger gamer base to play from. That's what being for the gamers is really about. So I think we're not. I honestly believe we've bought the last consoles. This generation right now, I feel, is the last one that has physical media. I really think the next ones, if they do release next ones, will be, if you buy a box, it's just going to be like a streaming type of thing. You know, we may not even download in the future. I live in the sticks and I got gigabit internet. So it's getting out there to everybody. I know there's still places that don't have it, but I still think that those numbers are getting so small that we're going to a true digital only world. And I think someday it won't matter what console you have. So we'll see. But anyways, I spent too much time on that. But hopefully that answered your question. And it was a good question, Nightwish. I thought that was a really good comment. All right. What's next on our list? That's it, unless you had anything else.
No.
Okay. All right. Let me cue it up. Here we go.
Today on this Xbox Live, get ready for some major strife. Yeah, Wingman's got 709 webs. Today is just the start. Get ready for this rant.
All right. Thank you. Learned your lesson for that. And I think, Rob, I have a feeling there's going to be another Rob-centric song coming in soon based on
Okay.
convos in the group. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah, so this week I've got 3 topics I want to rant about. First one is, Rob, and you can probably answer this, is I could swear that it was law that companies had to provide you with an unsubscribe link for emails, and they had to oblige by your unsubscribe requests. Is that not true?
Yeah, I thought that was part of that spam law a couple of years back.
Uh-oh. Hold on. My wife just got locked outside. I'll be right back. Rant on something, Rob. I'm sorry. I got to go get her.
So I'd like to rant when your co-host just disappears in the middle of the show. Can you believe that? And they put you on the spot because now you're in their section and you don't know what to say. But I guess you can just rant like them. See, now, if he planned properly for this, he would have left keys somewhere where they were accessible for her. But I guess he didn't plan, and that's his problem, not mine. And then my next question is, how long is he going to be gone? I have no idea. Could be gone 30 seconds, could be gone a minute. I just don't know. But he's still gone. Whoa, I hear something. So is he coming back? Maybe, maybe not.
Are you ranting?
Yeah, I was ranting about you leaving me in the middle of the show. And it was your section.
Dude, I know. And then I go up there to she's like, Oh, or my oldest son locked the door behind her, I guess, when she was outside with the dog. So I go up there and unlock the door, and I look out, and the dog's out there, but she's not. So and she ended up going around and coming in through the garage. I'm like, why are you bugging me? I'm in the middle of my show. You could have just gone there to begin with.
Yeah.
Or go up the patio and beat on his window or something and say, get up and come and let me in. Whatever.
Well,
Anyways.
poorly for this.
So now I have another rant. Wives. And kids.
That's a dangerous one. Don't poke the bear.
It's more kids than anything.
Yeah. What's the matter with these kids today?
I know. Ugh. All right. So anyways, I recently, well, I guess not recently, about a year ago, because I have a work from home position that I've done for almost 8 years. And it's like, after 7 years, I couldn't take another summer with all 3 of my kids in the house, and just, it's like, it's too noisy. I'm trying to conduct business. So I rented out an office space that I go to. Well, I had to get Comcast for my internet, Comcast Business. And I get all these Xfinity commercial, commercial? No, consumer. Consumer is the word I'm looking for. Consumer emails sent to me constantly. I'm like, I don't have Xfinity. I have Comcast Business. Stop sending me all your spam for crap. I don't have Comcast in my house. I have a much better ISP. And, and I keep, every time they come in, I'm hitting unsubscribe, and I got another one this week. And I'm just like, I'm sick and tired of Comcast. Fix your freaking system. By law, you have to do this. You have to provide an opportunity and a way for a customer to unsubscribe. And when they do that, you have to unsubscribe them from your mailing lists. So I'm really irritated at Comcast. So that's my first rant. My second one, I like co-op games. But what I don't like is when they're not co-op. Not due to the game, but due to the people you're playing it with. I was talking about, I had a really good time with Sea of Thieves this weekend.
Sure.
However, one of my games, it's like if you've ever been in a game with 4 people and 2 of them want to run the show. And they pretty much run the show, and the other 2 people are kind of like just along for the ride. Anything they say doesn't matter. Anything they suggest doesn't need to be done. Anything, And I was just like, I had this happen to me, and I did. I got frustrated, and I actually went silent. I went up in the crow's nest, and I went to sleep. You can make your character lay down and go to sleep. And I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here. I'll let them. I'll stay in the game. They can go collect all this loot. They can turn it in, and I'll just stay here, and I'll get the rewards. But and it was just a little frustrating. And then they're like, "Oh, he's not even pulling his weight and all this," and I'm like, I tried. Some of the things were like, and it's stupid stuff, and it's just like, it just frustrated me. And the guys are good guys, I think that's what frustrated me more than anything. It was like, I've played with these people before. Maybe they just, I don't know. Maybe it was just them. Maybe it was just me getting in a sour mood or something for something else. But it really does ruin, so it's frustrating. That does ruin your co-op game. And it can be really frustrating when the game, that's it. You've got to really rely on other people to have fun in that type of game.
Sure.
So it really sucks when the co-op gets ruined by your own people. I know Jesus Walks a Lot from Horrible Gamers. He had this problem last week where they went through this epic hours-long quest in Sea of Thieves, and at the end of it, one of their own people blew up a gun barrel or a gunpowder barrel, sank their ship and all their loot. They lost it after more than 3 hours of gaming to get everything that they were getting. And I'm like, dude, I would just like, those are the types of things that make you want to just like go and strangle them in person. Oh, but it wasn't like that today. But it was just like, my thing is, if you're gonna play co-op games with people, treat everybody decent. No, obviously you can't do what everybody wants to do. But if 1 minute you want to go after a sunken ship and that's like the greatest thing ever, 5 minutes later when someone spots it out, then why all of a sudden like, oh, we don't need that? Like we found some amazing gear. I was with like I said, the other gamers I played with this weekend, we've gone down and find some amazing stuff. I think Dead Kamikaze, who's in here watching us right now, we found some freaking awesome like high level skulls and captain's chests, and I think we found 2 in one wreck. We scored a lot of loot. And then it's like, hey, there's one right there. I'm like, you're going past it. Why don't we stop and take 2 minutes to go down and see if there's anything there? Nope, we don't need it. I'm like, okay, that's lost coin is what that is, And then, it's like, oh, well, which way do you want us to go? Nope, no one's going to answer. No one's going to go look at the map, People are going to go walk away from their controller, and then you're stuck like, hey, we don't know where to go. We're not, what are we doing? And, we're being attacked, and there's no one here to protect the ship. So if you don't want to play a co-op game, don't play a co-op game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I mean, this kind of stuff is very common in the board game world, where there's a fair amount of co-op games out there where basically just the group works to a common goal, like that Forbidden Island game. That's co-op. That's one that you played with your family. And it's a very common occurrence where you have one person that just basically takes over. And, they start telling everybody else what to do. And, it in some cases, it can be okay. But most of the time, this person is a fun sucker.
Well,
they take all the fun out of the game for everybody, and everybody just gets all freaking annoyed.
Well, and it wasn't. I think I was the only one that got annoyed out of the group. I will say that tonight. So it was probably more me. I think I was just my mood. It just rubbed me wrong.
Are you that guy? Are you that guy normally, and you got upset because somebody else did it to you?
No, I don't think so. No, I'm actually a really good player. I like to work with people, and I don't even like to go and attack other ships. It's just kind of like, let them do their thing, But no, it was like I decided, okay, I'm not going to just let them collect all the loot. I'll come down and I'll just go. We went to one island that had like 6 treasure chests on it, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll go down and dig some up. So I'm swimming in. I go find. I mean, like the first time I stick my shovel in, I went to the right spot. Boom, hit the treasure chest. I dig it up. I haul it back, and then I'm hearing, "Oh, Wingman's not pulling his weight." They think I'm still up in the crow's nest, and I'm like, "Dude, I'm walking up the ladder behind you with a treasure chest that I dug up for you." So I'm on, and I didn't say anything. I'm just like, screw you guys. And
like
so I jumped back in. I go up to the land, and then this other guy comes up and goes, "Here, take this to the boat." I'm not your. You don't order me around. I just walked right past him, and I went and dug up my own treasure chest. I'm like, no. They're like, oh, he must not be able to hear me. Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah.
But I'm not following your orders. Go take your own treasure chest to the freaking boat like everybody else. And he's going to hear this show. He's going to hear me, and I'm sure he's going to reach out to me to say something. And, I like the guy a lot, and I listen to him on his show every week. But he really irritated me tonight. But anyways, I'll play with him again. But I'm not hauling his treasure chests. He can do that himself. And he knows who I'm talking about. All right, but I'm not going to call him out. I'm not going to do that. Number 3, the last thing I want to say. So I said we'd talk more about Sea of Thieves. And I think that ranting about Sea of Thieves and a lot of the negativity that they have gotten this week is warranted. Not the negativity on content of the game. I don't think that's warranted. I think that there's a lot in this game. There's a lot that this game does that other games do not do. They've already told us that in 90 days, there's more content already planned to come out. And they've said this is going to be one where they're just going to continue to put new stuff into it. It's going to grow. It's going to continue. It's going to be more stuff to do. You know, and it's people going, oh, there's only like 1,800 boat colors I can do. That's not enough. You can only have one boat color at a time anyways, and they cost so much to buy. It's going to take you a while to buy a second one. But, the things that I think that they really do suck is right now, they've turned achievements off in the game. Somehow the achievements are part of the problem with so they had this thing the other day. They're like, okay, they charted out like 4 things that were wrong. Number 1, people weren't connecting. They were having tons of problems with connection. And that is, I think, should not ever happen in today's world. Okay? Battlefield's famous for this crap. Oh, well, we didn't anticipate the number of players that were going to play the game. Sea of Thieves did the same thing. Oh, well, we didn't anticipate. We had like 4 times as many people on day 1 trying to get into our game than tried the open beta. Come on. We're in freaking 2018 for crying out loud. Everything's online. Every game's online. This is an online only game. You had connection issues through every freaking alpha, beta, Charlie, Delta, Echo test that you ever ran. You had problems with it. So don't say, well, we were good up to 100 people, but beyond that, we just had problems. We couldn't figure it out. Come on. You guys are stupid. And this also, you had to know, you couldn't base this game. There's being in the Game Pass and Microsoft going, all of a sudden they're doing these Game Pass deals. You knew you couldn't go based off the pre-orders. You couldn't say, oh, well, we've got 10,000 pre-orders. That's all we need to set our servers up for. No, because you had a ton of people. I know a lot of people that, Rob included, cashing in their free Game Pass trial or buying the 2 months for 1 month cost just due to Sea of Thieves. So there was a huge influx of people that they simply failed to plan for, but they still, on day 1, on a AAA title that's got this much push and PR behind a company like Microsoft, this crap needs to work. And when people can't connect, people can't log in and play, and then when you do get in, you lose all your progress. You'll do a mission, you turn it in, you get no credit for it, you get no coin for it. I spawned in one time with no clothes, just like your basics, right? But all your shirts, your pants, and your weapons and iPad, all this stuff was gone. You'd buy stuff in the stores and it wouldn't appear. You had to kill yourself to get it back. Just way too many problems. Achievements weren't popping, and now they've turned those off. And it is interesting, their login issues. They very nicely basically blamed the gamers. Well, too many of you, tried to get in on day 1. How dare you, right? And number 2, oh, well, people are saying that to get your progress when you turn a loot in or you turn a mission in, you have to drop out of the game and re-log in, which causes more problems of the initial login connection. So it's like it's our fault. It's like their number 2 thing was basically saying, stay in the game, stop logging out, logging in, because you're causing login problems. No. Go to step 1. You had login problems before that. People can't even get in. And when they do, you're not even giving them any progress. And you're blaming it on, well, the game's got to communicate to the servers, and the server's got to communicate back. And then same with an achievement, it's got to communicate to the server that they got the achievement, and we got to communicate it back to pop it. So they've turned off achievements. They all this type of stuff. And I'm just like, this is garbage. It's been almost a week. The game's working now. It was working great this weekend. But is that because they did something, or because everybody got so mad and left that nobody's now playing the game? And they still don't have turned achievements on. So they're supposed to come out with a patch this week, but it's when you've had beta test, one after the other, and you've had all these login problems all along the way, and you couldn't resolve them by day one, that's crap. That is like taking our money and then saying, well, we'll fix it in a week or two. No. Would anyone ever go and buy a car, walk into the dealership, plunk down your money, get the keys, start it up, drive off the lot and get or go, wait a minute, the car doesn't start, or my radio doesn't work, or, oh, well, we'll install the radio next week, or we'll put the engine in next week when it comes in.
Yeah.
You wouldn't buy the car. Why is it that game companies think it's okay to just release crap and charge us full price and say we'll get to fixing it eventually? That's the problem. And that's why these developers get such a bad rap and get so many people ticked off. Why, like Rob, you said Metacritic, it was at what, a 60 something?
67, I think.
The game is better than that. But Metacritic is going to respond by the people like ourselves. The gamers are going to go in there and rate it low because the dang thing doesn't even work when they bought it. And it's like, and if people are saying, well, it's the first day jitters or something, it shouldn't be that way. Period. Back in the day when they shipped the disc, think about it back in the day, games were just done. They were complete. They were burned to a physical media cartridge or disc or something. There was no more updates. There was no ability to do the updates. Now that they can update them, they just ship stuff that's not complete, and we'll roll out a patch eventually in the next week or two. Battlefield 4 took 7 months before that game was actually fixed. 7 months that people had paid their money and couldn't play that game. Is that acceptable? Absolutely not. Now, granted, this game seems to be working a lot faster. It's still not complete. Stuff is still not working in it, like achievements, but the game progress, the mission progress, the ranking up, and all that stuff does seem to be finally working. But you can't ship a AAA title that's not working, period. All right, I'm done. You got anything, Rob, you want to say on that?
Yeah, Forbes had an article on this. I'll read a couple snippets from it. It's actually kind of interesting, and it falls in line with what we've been saying. And first off, it's working with a nasty 67 on Metacritic. And people are mystified how the game made it this far without so many of the basic structural elements that have guided gamers through MMOs and other games for decades. The consensus is that there's just not enough to do. A vast, empty ocean populated by repetitive islands and fetch quests. We've had a feeling this would happen, and now we know. Because this is 2018, a release is merely one of the many punctuation marks in the lifespan of any given game, whether you think it's a good idea or not. And so we've got the standard apology / promise / hope when it comes to Sea of Thieves. This is a game intended to evolve over time. Expect exciting things. We're working on it, etc. It's frustrating to hear, mostly because of the way that it leads the fact that people pay $60 expecting a finished product, and because of the number of times we've heard it over the past year or two. It says, Sea of Thieves, however, is little different than other games as a service, mostly because an untold number of gamers didn't pay the $60 purchase price. Sea of Thieves is included in Game Pass, and those who already have it, can get it as a free trial, etc., etc. And it says because it's in Game Pass, it takes the pressure off to a certain degree. And the writer goes on to say, I hope that this means that the game can get a little room to breathe. The game has 1 million or so players, many of which have signed up in a lower pressure Game Pass situation. Just as importantly, the game could have as many potential customers as there are Game Pass subscribers. And if Rare manages to fill things out down the road, there are a ton of players that can just sort of sign in to see what it's like. the lower barrier to entry means that it stands a better chance if, that's a big if, the developer manages to deliver on its promises, even a year or so down the road. So, Mark, that brings up an interesting question, at least in my mind. So, the fact that I would imagine that the majority of people did not pay $60, at least I would expect most people to sign up for Game Pass because the entry price is so much lower. Do you think that people are going to be a little more okay with the game state? Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Not
the
for the
fact that it's
not the people that paid $60. Like for me, I wasn't really upset when this all happened.
sure.
Because I didn't pay the $60 for it. It wasn't a game I was really that interested in. I did the beta testing and I'm like, oh, this game's boring. And, I just don't see what everybody else sees in this game. But I'm a Game Pass subscriber. So, of course, I thought I'd download it and play it. And I ran into these things. And I was like, this is a show. I'm ranting, right? I'm not ranting at Sea of Thieves. I'm ranting more on the basis that these developers continue to do this type of stuff. Oh, just push it out and we'll fix it later. For Game Pass people, I don't think a lot of Game Pass people were really super upset because, yeah, they really didn't pay for it, But I did see people who paid full price that were mad at Game Pass subscribers saying, kick them out of the game. We're the ones that paid for it. And I'm like, that's a pretty valid thought. I'm like, yes, I'm paying for it with my subscription, but yeah, I'm getting it and I didn't pay the $60. Someone who paid full price or maybe had bought into some more expensive version, maybe bought the controller with it. I think they have a very valid reason to be really mad. And everybody's like, well, it's just a game. Just calm down. No, it's a product that I bought and paid for. That anyone here that bought and paid for it full price, we expect it to work when we turn it on, day one or not. I buy a brand new car, it works. I buy a brand new Blu-ray player, I expect it to work. I buy a brand new TV, I expect it to work. You download a digital song or you rent a digital movie or buy a digital movie, no one ever says, okay, well, you've now rented this movie. You can watch it 3 days from now. No, you watch it right then. You buy your movie, you can watch it right then. You download or you buy a digital book, it's available right then. I expect the same thing from a video game. When I download it or purchase it, I want to be able to play it right then when the game is available. And this didn't happen here. It wasn't available for people. And that's the problem. And I don't think that people should give them credit even for cheaper games or, if it's broke, don't release it.
Right.
And again, like even Gunny just said, Sea of Thieves had so many betas. They should have been able to, this should have worked on day one. Yes, stuff is gonna break, but connection issues for an online-only game, that's got to be your number one thing you make sure works.
And it's on one platform.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, two if you consider PC.
Well, yeah.
Because PC is a different platform.
That's true.
And it was available there. So, but yeah, it's my gosh, good thing it wasn't a third-party developer, right? You'd have people from different platforms trying to get on too, adding to it. So, yeah, it's just they should have done a lot better. And this goes for every developer. I'm going to call out DICE and EA here with the new Battlefield. That crap should work. It's a joke. Everybody knows Battlefield's not going to work for the first 2 weeks. Every time it releases. It's an ongoing joke. It shouldn't be. It should not be tolerated. So,
yeah.
And here's my thing. I'll bet you, like Call of Duty is a bigger game, right? A lot more people play as much as people hate Call of Duty, right? But you look at the sales number. That game sells like crazy. I only recall one time of Call of Duty ever having an issue on launch day, and I think it was resolved within 2 days, completely resolved, and has not been repeated. And actually, that was my understanding was more of an Xbox Live issue, and we have not seen that happen again with Call of Duty. It's the largest, probably the largest multiplayer game out there that releases every year, and you can buy it day one, jump in a multiplayer match, and it works. I would expect Red Dead Redemption 2, I'll bet it works day one. And that'll have a lot more people trying to hit them servers day one than Sea of Thieves ever saw. Because that's going to be all platforms, So
Yeah.
And it's just like, you can't come out with garbage, man. You can't release a broken game. If it doesn't work, just delay it a week or two. Plain and simple. I think everybody would rather have that game delayed a week to make sure it works. And I don't buy into this. Well, we didn't know, or we can't anticipate. I cry bunk because I work in IT. I know, and even Brun and you probably dealt with this in the past. There are applications before where I was, Rob, when I was still in Chicago, where I worked before where I'm at now. We had hired people that did testing specifically on load against servers. That was their job, how much stuff they throw at it. And it was all done programming, slamming servers with logins and all kinds of stuff. And this was for freaking colleges,
Yeah.
Who had a lot less, are going to take a lot less of a hit than a freaking video game that's, releasing worldwide. Those tools exist. They're not using them. They're not using them right, or they're not spinning up enough servers. It's on them. They can test this stuff in advance. What they can't test is what people are going to do once they're in the game to break it or find glitches and bugs. I get that. You can't find all of those. It's just not possible, But login issues, that's a cop-out. They can absolutely slam 1 million people a second at that in a test environment to see what's going to happen to those servers, and they're going to fail. And they should fix it. So, anyways, I've spent way too much time on this. With all that said, still give Sea of Thieves a try. It's a fun game.
Sure.
Now that it's sort of working. So, all right. Let's move along. Let's head in community time. So, whoops, let you do that, Rob.
All right. We want to do the giveaways first?
Sure.
Sure. All right. We have 2 giveaways. They're 14-day Xbox Live codes. First one, it comes to us courtesy of Comrade92. And the code is WNQ8B BTFVG RTBG3 PW84Q B974F. And the second code is courtesy of this Xbox Live. And the code is 9NRM9GJKJFMG QKD3VDRRFF. So good luck to everybody who gets them.
Yep. So.
And please don't take both. Take one. Give the other one to somebody else.
Yep.
Don't be greedy. All righty.
And please let us know if you take it, just so we
Yes.
know if, that way if no one wants it, no one takes it, then we'll give it out next week.
Yeah.
So,
And then you can leave us a voicemail by going to thisxboxlife.com. Click on send voicemail in the right-hand side of the screen. You're limited to 90 seconds on there. Alternatively, you can record an MP3 and email it to us at contact@thisxboxlife. If you send us a voicemail, either way, we will play it on the show. You get to hear yourself on the interwebs. We also have a Twitter account. It's This Xbox Life. You can also find it at thisxboxlife.com/Twitter. It'll take you straight there. And I believe Mark is now Twittering.
yeah.
Is that correct? Ish, you're Twittering-ish?
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I've now got it so it pops up in my browser every day, and
Yeah.
I hate Twitter, man. I hate it. I do.
Yeah, I think people need to pick a platform. It's hard to manage everything. Like,
yeah.
yeah, like I've got Facebook, I've got Twitter, I've got Discord, I've got Slack, I've got Cisco Spark, and there's one more, Telegram. And it's like impossible to like go through all those.
We got Teams at work, and I freaking hate it.
Oh, that one too. I've been ignoring that one.
I
keep
can't
getting
anymore.
I keep getting these emails. So and so is reaching out to you on Teams. It's like, no.
Yeah. Yep.
And speaking of Facebook, we have a Facebook group.
I'm active there. I'm active.
Yes.
I can handle that one.
Yeah, you can find that at thisxboxlife.com/Facebook. If you're not a member, you can request access. It is a closed group, so you do have to be approved to get in. And a closed group.
Answer the questions.
Yes.
If you do not answer those questions, we will not let you in, period. That's to try to, it's not to be mean to you. It's to try to keep out the spammers, the people who have no business being in the group. We're trying to filter, and we've seen a huge drop of people jumping in because
crazy.
we've done that, you know.
Yeah.
So we want people that actually listen or be a part of the community. We don't, you know, so
Legit people.
Legit, not spammers or someone that's going to hit us 6 months later by, get all these free codes, you know. So
yeah.
we try to keep all that cleaned up for you guys and keep it safe for everybody.
Mm-hmm. So we've got a couple of messages from Facebook. The first one is from Bo, who writes in, "Why do we park on driveways and drive on parkways?"
Because we're stupid. We're dumb Americans.
That's a very good question.
And
but
it's
there's
true.
lots of
That's exactly what we do. We do park in our driveways, and we drive on the parkways. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, here's another question. Why is it called a building if it's already built?
Yep.
One of the mysteries of the universe.
Because we're dumb Americans.
Yes.
All
Want to take
right.
the next one?
Yeah, Brian Talb Jr. writes in and says, and Rob, you're going to have to help me with this because I don't understand the question. I've been reading it, and I still don't get it. If you won a game-inspired Xbox, what would you want it to be and not want it to be?
I think this is like...
It's not kind of like
those
R2-D2 or Star Wars-themed Xbox consoles?
I'm thinking like, like how they just had the Sea of Thieves ones and, where it's the Xboxes that have the color schemes or the art on them. This is the way I'm understanding it. A game-inspired Xbox.
So the console.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we're on the same page. I want a Crackdown 3 console. I want the game, and I want it to have the game with it. I want it to be like I want it to be like a nice dark blue console with that logo on the front. I want it to, when it boots up, I want the agility orb or the you know, that sound, which I actually have as a text message sound on my phone. Or actually better yet, like change all the achievement pop-up sounds to be the orbs, and like when you launch the Xbox, actually you turn it on, it should say "Welcome, Agent." That's what I want. And what I don't want it to be is like some gaudy looking ugly console. Like I thought the R2D2 360 was ugly and the C3PO ones were ugly. And I love Star Wars, but those were ugly, you know. Give me a nice, in fact, was it the 360 or was it there was an Xbox One that had a really nice blue? It was like a special dev kit or something. That thing was awesome looking. Give me a nice looking blue color in that logo. And it doesn't even have to be like all over the front or on the top of it. It'd be cool, I guess, on the top, but you could just put a nice small Crackdown logo on the front of the console. That's all you got to do. Make it simple. That'd be sweet. I'd have to buy that one. And a controller that goes with it that's themed appropriately as well. But more of I'm not a standout, like, I don't like stuff like the Gears of War 360, was it the 360 or there's an Xbox One? There was a Gears of War one. It was red with blood splatter on it. That was cool. But that would be like the only one that was kind of stand outish. I'm a very more like the way I dress, everything, I don't stand out. It's very kind of simple. You know, I got just a solid blue t-shirt on right now. I everything I wear is like one color. It's just, you know, so I don't like a lot of, even my custom controller. It's white with blue. I made dark blue triggers and buttons, but it's still, if you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't know it was a custom controller.
Right.
Because it looks just like a regular one. I just like that, but so make it simple and clean. I like that clean look, but make it Crackdown. Sounds and visuals on that thing. How about you?
So I would like a Wolfenstein one, but to not have it be like just red or whatever color that is that Wolfenstein has everywhere. Just, you know, some really cool artwork on it, and, you know, cool stuff on the controller.
You know what? You know how you'd power it up though, right? You'd have to actually walk up to it. You'd have to go to the left, to the right, to the left, maybe squat a little bit to get perfectly lined up with the power button and then press it. Just like in the game. You can't just walk over the ammo. You go, oh, no, you got to move around and get just in the right spot to hit X to pick up your ammo. That's what you'd have to do with the power button. Wait a minute. I got to be up. No, a little bit. There we go. It turned on.
It's a problem for you, nobody else.
That's okay. I can accept that.
Yeah.
So you don't want it red. What would you want your Wolfenstein to be? More black with a hint of red to it, maybe?
No, maybe to have it look like one of those fortresses or something like that, you know, like the Wolfenstein fortresses, or have those like robot dudes on there.
Yeah.
Or just have it be a little more interesting than just like the red with some kind of like flag insignia or something like that.
Yeah.
That's like a cop out. But
all right.
Yeah, that would be my favorite.
All right.
All right. Next one is from Jeff. So after all the Sea of Thieves hype, what are your thoughts after it launched? Is there enough launch content to keep people playing until more is added? I think we kind of covered most of this. Yeah.
I think so. I think there's enough content to keep people playing, personally. Will they get bored of it? Yeah, if you're going to play it every day, you might get bored by the time new content comes out. But there's other games like Far Cry 5 coming out, so you don't have to play Sea of Thieves every day. But it's a fun game. It's cute. It's fun. My youngest son will sit here and watch me play. He loves watching. He's like, when I get on an island where there's a pig or a chicken, he's like, go get the chicken. Get the chicken. He gets all excited when I capture a chicken, especially since we have chickens here for real at our house. We have like 20-something chickens. So So the kids all get excited about that. But then he was happy when I caught a pig and put it on the boat. So, all right. Dirty Bite says, how do you feel when a gaming buddy deletes a game over something that could have been avoided? Jesus walks a lot. Come back. So this is a story that I was referring to earlier, so let me dive into a little bit more detail. So Jesus walks a lot from Horrible Gamers. I guess they were on doing one of the raids in Sea of Thieves. So you'll see, if you see a cloud bank appear in the sky that looks like a skull, and then the eyes will light up green like flashing lightning. If you go over to that, there'll be like a fortress there, a skeleton fortress, and it takes a couple of hours to beat that. It's intended to be that way. It's hard, but then you can get a lot of good loot and stuff there. So they spent like 3 hours doing this, and when it was all said and done, and they were sailing away, there was an argument on the ship over something, and somebody decided to blow up a gun barrel or a gunpowder barrel and sink the ship, and all loot was lost. So Jesus Walks a Lot actually uninstalled the game. He was so mad, and I was like, dude, I wouldn't have uninstalled the game. I would have kicked the guy off my friends list and never played with him again. But he did actually end up reinstalling the game, and was playing it again today. But I would. I'd rather go to their house and punch them in the face instead of deleting the game. I don't know. How about you, Rob?
Don't be a fun sucker.
Yeah.
Is the moral of the story. Don't be a jerk.
So, all right. And the next one.
All right. This is from Phil. A nosy question, which you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Do you have an estimate for the number of people who download, listen, watch the show each week?
Yeah, we just broke 1 billion, right?
Yeah. It's been so long, actually, since I checked. I have no idea where it's at now.
I don't either.
And part of the problem now, too, is that we're so scattered now. We don't have a place to, count everything.
Yeah, because, right now we got people watching on Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube, so that doesn't count. And those people may not download the audio that watch every week. I don't know.
Yeah. And people watch.
Oh,
and people watch it on the website too, or listen to it on the website.
So, yeah, no, I think iTunes. I'm not sure if that's still the same, but they actually, I think they count one. They could have 10,000 people downloading it, but we won't see each download, or it depends on the site that's pulling it and where you're getting it from. And
Stitcher does that.
Yeah, so it's hard to say. So we really don't follow that. We're just doing this because we enjoy it. But we do know there's a lot of people out there. And what I think is the coolest thing is when we hear from people in other countries. That is just it just blows my mind that there's people from Europe and Australia listening to us, and Canada, and it's just I love everybody that listens to us in the States, don't get me wrong, but it just Rob and I, who are we, and people from other countries around the world are listening. That's just mind-blowing. I think that's so cool. Let's see, last one we've got, Jeremy writes in, says, when can I write a theme song for Rob? He needs his own segment.
There you go.
So I actually wrote him and said, hey, Rob does the weekly retail releases. You cover all the new games every week and games of gold, and that's kind of your baby there. And unless you want to introduce a new section that you'd like to. I was thinking about this the other day. Ooh, I want to talk about something. Yes, I forgot. There was something I did want to mention because this thing's freaking cool. And maybe people already have an answer for this, but I'm like, man, we should do an app of the week or game of the week section, but that probably wouldn't work for us. But I did discover a really cool podcast app that I absolutely love. So let me paint my situation here. I got an iPhone, and it has its own native app, just called Podcast, right? And on my Windows, on my Surface and my home PC, I've always used Grover, um, which is Grover Pro, which is a nice little podcast app. The problem is that I listen to stuff as I go to work, and then I get to the office, turn on my Surface Pro, and then it's like, okay, I have to look at my phone. Where did I leave off? And then I have to manually move the slider, right? Not a lot of work, but it's just annoying in this day and age. So there's now a one called Pocket Casts, and it's been, I guess, on iOS and Android for a long time, and I think it's $3 to. It's not a free one, but it's like $3 for that app. But now there's a Windows 10 app, okay, and you actually got to go. Supposedly it was in the store. I couldn't find it in the store. I ended up going to Pocket Cast website. I created an account. You have to pay $9 through there, so it totals like $12. Um, but what happens is, and then you can watch it, but then you can get the beta once you're signed in as a user and paid. You can get the beta app, and I've put that on my Surface now, and I tested it. So I would play an app or a podcast on my phone. I stop it. I immediately went over and clicked on the app in my Surface, and I hit the same box, said play, and it resumed from the exact spot I stopped it on my phone. And I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you. So Grover's gone. I removed everything from the native app on the phone. It's called Pocket Casts. If you're a Windows user and listen on Windows, and you also like to listen on your mobile Android or iPhone device, they have it for both. I said the bad side, you got to pay for each where you download it, but total price was $12 for me, and I couldn't be happier with this thing. And I actually heard about this from Paul Thurrott. It was something they posted last week on his site, and they had nothing but great reviews about it too. So I just had to share that with people. And interesting, my wife started listening. She's into podcasts herself this week, and she showed me her podcast app, and she was like telling me about these things that she listens to, like gardening and parenting and all this boring stuff, right? So I was like, hey, let me see your phone real quick. And she handed it to me, and I hit that and opened it, and I flipped through what she's listened to. I just looked at her, gave her this dirty look, kind of threw her phone back at her. And I said, how could you? And she knew exactly what I was going to say. And she's like, okay, let me add it. I was like, you don't have to listen, but you could put my podcast on there and at least give me the download.
Just download it. Yeah.
I was like, how could you not add your husband's podcast?
Well, maybe now she's going to hear you talking about her.
I love my wife. She's amazing. So it wasn't her fault that she got locked out. It was my oldest child's, and I will deal with him shortly. Where is my, where's a good weapon? No, no. But no, yeah, it was just a funny moment. But Pocket Casts is my app suggestion of the week. So it's well worth the $12. So, but anyways,
yeah, it's very cool. I used it a couple of years back.
Dead Kamikaze says same thing. He said he loves it. So, is that what you use, Rob, or do you use something else now?
No, I switched to what's it called? So yeah, I ran Pocket Casts for quite some time, and then I tend to go for the one to the apps that are the most configurable, because I like to do specific things with specific podcasts, like listen to them at faster speeds. I have different retentions for different podcasts. Like there's music ones that I might want to keep only for 3 weeks and delete them if I didn't listen to them, but other ones I might want to keep 10. There's a couple that I keep every episode that's been unlistened to, but right now it's called Podcast Addict. That is my current favorite, and that's for Android. I don't know if it's available on other platforms.
Cool. All right. Well, that was my last minute, so I will let you.
Yes, I do download our show.
I do too. So there. Okay. Now we know there's at least 3 people that download it. My wife now, Rob, and myself. So we get 3 downloads a week. So
actually, I didn't always download it. until we started getting, it's not downloading. Well, I see it on my phone. It's okay.
All right.
Anyway.
What can we spend our money on this week, Rob?
All right. So retail releases, it's a fairly decent week. There's some good titles coming out. This is for the week of March 26th through April 1st. So the joke's not on us yet.
I could save you a lot of time. You only have to mention one game, and that's it. Because no one cares about any of this other stuff.
Well, I'll name them anyway.
All right.
So out tomorrow, which is an unusual release date because it's Monday, is Exmorph Defense European Assault. And this game looks actually really cool. I love the graphics on it. It looks to be a tower defense style game. Think tower defense like Defense Grid, and it's got like the cool graphics that I like from Skyforce. So it's like the two together. I would hope that this game isn't very expensive, but it looks pretty cool. And I might actually check this one out myself. And then out on March 27th, which is the big day of releases, we have Far Cry 5.
Whoop, whoop.
And this is the game that Mark was talking about, if you didn't get that already. Yeah. And this one is Xbox One enhanced, and it will be a big time killer for a lot of people.
I can't wait. Dude, I'm so excited for tomorrow night because I live in a Pacific time zone. This thing is available at 9 p.m. tomorrow night for me.
Nice.
I love being on the Pacific time zone. Yeah. West Coast rules.
Yeah, and if you got it, I don't know if it was for all the versions. I think you get Far Cry 3.
Yep.
Not 4. I think it was 3.
Yeah,
you get Far Cry 3 for free.
Yep.
So maybe you have to play through that one first.
No.
Before you do 5.
No.
I think you might need to do that.
And I did read an article. I guess this existed in other Far Cry games. You can complete Far Cry 5. You can complete the game in like just a matter of minutes. I guess right at the very beginning, if you don't do something and you just kind of stand there, I guess the game will end. And I don't know if you get the completed the game achievement, but the game will basically end and the credits will roll and it will have an ending. So I might actually test this out and see what happens. So you might see my first achievement will be completed Far Cry 5 or finish the game. It's like the first achievement 2 minutes after the game launches.
Nice.
But I guess they had this kind of built into one of their other games or maybe a couple. But yeah, so it's not necessarily new, but I thought it was funny because I'd never heard of it before.
Yeah. So yeah, another game out on the 27th is Pixark. They talked about this on the Xbox Insider Show. And it's from the makers of Ark Survival Evolved. So this looks, I'm curious about this game. I don't know how good it's going to be, but it looks interesting. Looks Minecraft-y.
Yeah, it looks like something my kids would love.
Yeah. Also out is Trove Heroes. So Trove's been out for a while. It's a free-to-play MMO style game, and
free-to-play.
Yeah, in addition to it. And then out on the 30th, we have Alteric and Space Hulk Ascension. And the Space Hulk stuff's usually kind of cool. So
turn-based game, so if you're turn-based strategy.
Get your Space Marine versus Gene Stealer stuff going on. I've got a couple Space Hulk board games myself. So it's sort of a small week, only about 6 titles out, but there's the big guy, Far Cry 5, coming out.
Yep.
All right, Games with Gold continues for the week. We have Trials of the Blood Dragon for Xbox One. Will continue for a little bit longer, ending at the end of March. And new
Saturday.
New to mid March on the 16th was Super Hot. And the Xbox.
Forgot to mention I played Super Hot this week.
Yeah.
Delete,
Okay.
uninstall. I didn't like it. I know people love it. I was just
Yeah.
like, what the heck, man?
Yeah, I haven't
Not
tried
for
it
me.
yet.
Not
I
for
don't
me.
even know what it's about. All I know is
Super.
that it was priced right
Yes.
for the install. And then for Xbox 360 and backwards compatibility, we have Quantum Conundrum. And I don't believe that the April releases have been released yet for Games with Gold. So we'll update you guys next show on Sunday, which they'll already be out. All right. And then lastly, if you're an iTunes user, please make sure to find the show on the iTunes store. Give us a 5-star rating. This is a great way to support the show, but it really helps us out, boosts us in the rankings on the iTunes store in the podcast section, and it helps us, get the name out and more people to find out about the show. Also, if you're making any purchases on Amazon, doesn't matter what it is, could be anything. Make sure to use our affiliate link. You can find that at thisxboxlife.com/Amazon, or click on the Amazon logo on our website. Certain ad blockers apparently block it because it comes from Amazon and not from us, the link. So make sure to, if you don't see the banner on the page, just make sure to disable ad block for our site. That's the only ad that is actually on there, and we would greatly appreciate it. It does not cost you anything extra, but it's another great way to support the show. And you can also find the show on Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube, in addition to your favorite pod catcher, casts, netcast, whatever they're called nowadays. Whatever application you use for them, you can also find us on there. And I believe that's all we've got for the show. Do you have anything else, Mark?
I do not. Thank you, as always. We really appreciate everybody watching and listening and being a big part of this community. Catch us online. I will be playing Far Cry this week. So, hit us up, the community. Hit me up for Sea of Thieves. I'll jump in and play. We'll go plunder in the seas, matey. But we will be back next week and look forward to it. Have a great week of gaming. I'm Wingman709, taking off.
And I'm Rob, also known as Presar. Thanks for listening, everybody.